Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with Channel Disturbance. This is the SU-14-2, otherwise known as the school bus. It's a Tier 8 Soviet heavy SPG. It's located on the south spawn of Malinovka, and this one is under the command of ProvoBob. Now, they only built 2 of these apparently. The SU-14 was an artillery piece constructed from a T-35 heavy tank, and that was built during the 30s. And the SU-14s were used during the Winter War against Finland, and that took place during 1939 to 1940. And after that, they were put into storage. Now, during 1941, obviously, the Germans invaded, and they pulled them out of storage and upgraded them, and that's what converted them into SU-14-1s, which happened to be the Tier 7 Soviet SPG. And that had an upgraded suspension system, but basically the same artillery pieces. And after that, they put a cover over them to shield the crew from the weather, and a radio station, and turn them into SU-14-2s. Oh my god, he got a kill on that charioteer on his first shot. So the first kill for his team goes to ProvoBob. Now, the artillery piece he's using is the B4. It's 203mm. It's got alpha damage of 1050 and a burst radius of 10.9 meters. Now, whilst this Arty did actually carry the B4 during the Second World War, it more than often actually carried the BR2, which is the 152mm howitzer instead. He's determined to get that Barask. He fires a calculated shot in. That was near where the Barask was last seen, so he might have splashed him. Now, because he's using the B4 howitzer, it's got a rather long load time of 36.32 seconds. But he does have a very big footprint for a Tier 8 Arty. And so, as I said, the splash radius on this one's 10.9 meters, so he only needs to land the shell near the target to actually do some damage to them, some serious damage. He's aimed at the top of the hill, and then the first target to come into sight is Centurion 7-1. It's a Tier 10 game with Tier 8 Arty in it. Rounds out for the Centurion. Just misses him. It's got a long load time now, waiting. Normally during these sort of games, I work out what the enemy's trying to do, try and follow them, see what they're up to, and then line up the shot for when the load is ready. E75 pulls back into cover. Is he going to pull forward again? No, he's using that windmill for cover. So the Centurion is more than likely the one that's going to actually move forward to shoot. He fires at the E75, but only gets 50 hit points of splash. But there's the Centurion 7-1 and the Carnarvon Action 10, and they both pulled back. And I think they're pulling back because our guys are getting closer and closer to the windmill. Now you can see that the reticule's moving, and that's because ProvoBob is adjusting the position of his vehicle. That causes the reticule to bloom up. E100's come into sight. No penetrating shots there. Rounds out in the 100. Lands near him for 358. Now that's a good roll. I'm not sure if it was ProvoBob who actually knocked that tree down, but somebody did. But he's now moving position to avoid counter battery. Okay, this looks a good spot. Now, it's at times like this when the enemy gather together that I pack a few rounds of premium ammo. The premium ammo has got a much bigger splash radius. That's 12.4 meters. Well, with 12.4 meters of splash, you've got a pretty good chance that you're actually going to get more than one tank at the same time. And that's what he's done there. He hit the E100 and splash damaged the E75TS at the same time, so you get double bubble. Well, I like to call it double bubble anyway. That's a British term. Double bubble. I know, probably use it in other countries as well. Never mind. Jingles likes to confuse Rita with a lot of British terminology, and Rita doesn't get it, but yeah, these are little terms that we get used to. He's loaded. Rounds out in the E100. Direct hit. 161 hit points only though, because it hit the frontal armor, which is pretty strong. Now I've seen photography of an SU-14 moving through the forests in Russia, and they are pretty cumbersome things actually, and the reason for that is that the T-35 tank wasn't a very good tank. It had the dimensions wrong, and David Fletcher have said that that causes problems for the movement of the tank because it was too wide and too long. Rounds out the Centurion, lands in front of him, but only 84 hit points a splash. And the other bad thing, of course, about using the B4 howitzer is you get a limited amount of ammunition, I'm afraid. And now ProvoBob's down to just 8 rounds left. And sometime in battle like this, you do have to announce how many shells you've got left to tell your teammates you're only going to be able to help them for so much longer before you're out of ammo. He's decided he's going to go for the E100 because he's lower hit points, but it's 2 of them together there. Rounds out. Only 231 hit points, but it was off the T-30 hiding behind the E100, and he stunned both. And the E100 dies, so he picks up loads of stun assist. Now, stun assist is important to Arty, and some people were saying maybe they ought to do away with stun assist. I think it was Klaus Kellerman was saying that, but actually it is very important because it compensates Arty for the loss in the actual damage that the shells would have actually done. In the past, Arty could one-shot enemy heavies out of the game, and so when they brought in the stun mechanic, it was to actually compensate Arty players by stunning the enemy opponents and then allowing them to pick up some assistance from the ease of which their teammates managed to damage those enemy after they've been stunned. And stun assist can actually make the difference between getting a first class and an ace tanker. So 6 rounds left. T-30's rocking backwards and forwards using the Rex for cover, but ProvoBob's lined up the shot, and unfortunately the windmill is getting in the way, but the T-30 pulls back and takes the round for full. 497 hit points of damage, and he's getting stun assist, and that T-30 is not going to last much longer, and there he's gone. Killed by the T-26E5 Patriot. Now there's an Udes nearby, he's in the dip, but we're now looking to the ELC Ever 90, otherwise known as a Steve 90, after Steve Walst, the person who created so many memes about the ELC that everyone has to call it Steve 90 from now on. It totally is a meme tank, that one. Is just incredible what he does with it. Do watch his videos if you get the chance, because you will absolutely die laughing at some of the things he does with them. Okay, that ELC is being a real pain. He's damaged our Waffenträger auf Panzer IV. Trying to get a shot at him is very difficult as well. Aiming for the corner of the building just in case he comes around that side. Here he comes. Rounds out. 324, that's a good hit. And the ELC is now out in the open, and he's a bit, well, stunned, you could say. Three more rounds left. There's still 7 enemies out there. There's only 5 minutes 51 seconds left of the day, so oh, here we go. ELC came out into the open. He fires around in, unfortunately fired at the position where the ELC was, but the Waffenträger got the shot in after the guy got stunned, and so ProvoBob picks up the stun assist. 2 rounds left now. He's looking up on the hill, but I think he's only looking up there because presumably the Centurion and the Carnarvon was seen up on the hill. I don't think they're up there anymore. I think they've pulled down from the hill, just as our enemy heavies have. The E100 and the ST1 are now circling the north edge of the lake. Pretty sure that the enemy heavies have retreated back to the woods in the A and the B row. And they found one of the enemies. It was the Unit 16. The enemy's got two Arty, an M53 and an M40, and they're both hammering our heavies. There's the enemy Udas, another one. Dialing in. Nicely done. Perfect. Yes! Oh my god, he killed one and I think somebody else killed the other. Or did they both? No, it's actually the Udas was killed. Sorry, it's the wreck of the charioteer that was killed by earlier on in the game by ProvoBob. Two wrecks together. I thought for a second they killed two enemy targets, but no, it was only one. So there's only 4 enemy left now. 2 RT, the Centurion, and there's that Carnarvon Action 10 somewhere. There's the enemy RT. He's been spotted. Rounds out. This is the last round for ProvoBob. And he gets the kill. 2 kills. But he's got no ammo left, so he's out. And normally at this point I hit the reload button to tell everyone no more ammo. All I can do now is cap or scout. And I'm not the best cap or scout because I'm slow. Yes, the SU-14-2 is probably one of the slowest RTs in the game. Not the slowest, that's the GW Tiger P. That's incredibly slow. Painfully slow. Slugs move faster. Ice ages melt quicker. Now the M53, M55 ahead of us, Tough Groove, he's probably still got shells, so he's looking for a new firing position there. But ProvoBob, well, all he can do now is head for the enemy cap, and don't need to because they've killed the Carnarvon, and that's the end of the game. So let's have a look and see how well he did in this game. It's an ace tanker for ProvoBob in the SU-14-2. It's not the first ace tanker he's had in this one, but it is an ace tanker and they're always welcome. He got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 14 in this one. And his win rate was 4,147, which is Super Unicum standard. So let's have a look at the team score. Didn't get the highest damage in the game. That went to the Waffenträger Aufpanzer 4. He got 3,318 hit points of damage, but for some reason didn't pick up the high caliber. The next high scorer was the IS-4 with 3,135, and after that it was the M53, M55 on the enemy team that ProvoBob killed. He did 3,059 hit points, so he was working hard during that game as well. ProvoBob only got 2,931 from that one, but he did work hard and he used all his shells. When it came to kills, it was the E100 who got 4 kills, 3 kills to the Waffenträger, 2 kills to ProvoBob, the SU-130PM and the Centurion, and the only player on the enemy team who managed to get more than 1 kill was the M53, M55. When it came to base XP, it was ProvoBob who got the highest, 1,182, and that's mostly due to the stun assist that I mentioned earlier in the game, 1,048 to the SU-130PM, 949 to the E100. ProvoBob fired all 16 rounds of ammunition in this game. Got 4 direct hits, no penetrations, but 16 splash. Damage of 2,931 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 2, and did 2,171 hit points of stun assist off 13 stuns, and that's where he got the ace tanker. On a premium count, he earned 58,637 credits, and after ammunition resupply, took away 28,077 credits profit. He got 1,773 XP, 3,546 for completing the mission events, and took away 5,319 experience points altogether. So a very good game, a solid game in the SU-14-2 on Malinovka. Normally in the instance where I run out of ammo, I head straight for the enemy cap, or at least try to be of use to my teammates by actually being bait for the enemy. If I can get the enemy to fire at me, then it will reveal their positions and then my teammates can kill them. But I try to make use of my Arty and try and fool the enemy into thinking I've got rounds. By going towards the enemy cap, I can actually fool them into thinking, yes, I'm going to cap. But it sometimes can have the desired result to get them to make a mistake, which then reveals their position. So, if you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel, please. We don't have that many subscribers, which is surprising. In fact, actually, people have just been sending comments recently saying, how can you have so many videos and so few subscribers? It doesn't make sense. And we have more videos than Quickie Baby, Jingles and Klaus Kellerman all put together. At least I think we do at the moment. And so yes, it is a bit surprising, but well, I suppose that's because we try to make sure that you get your chance to have your video on YouTube. So thanks very much for watching.